We open issue 16 with two security guards transporting Shift's alien tech. We learn from their conversation that Shift broke his crew out of jail. In the background, we see Axel approaching a deer. He makes the poor deer explode, and the two guards head over to inspect the visceral remains, leaving the technology unguarded. Shift and Shear then teleport in and steal their gear back. On the next page, we see Shift and his crew rebuilding their base of operations. Shear rummages through boxes looking for his drone. He finds it, and they start downloading the data it's collected on Radiant Black. Shift says they're going full Spec Ops to take down Radiant Black. We cut to Nathan and Marshall at a high school basketball game. Nathan's on his phone, overthinking a selfie Justine posted with a guy in it, and Marshall is looking for ammo to use against one of the teens who bully him. They head back to Marshall's place, and Nathan talks about his problems. He's bummed out about the big plans he'll never get to see come to fruition, what with Justine in Santa Monica with another man, limping when he used to literally fly, and still being stuck in Lockport is all weighing down on him hard. Marshall doesn't say anything, but Nathan brings up that his rogue gallery broke out of prison and is worried that they're going to come after Marshall. Marshall replies they won't. He sent a clear message not to fuck around and find out. Marshall then says he's heading back to the high school, saying he's in the halftime show. Radiant Black then flies onto the basketball court. Apparently, students had tweeted at Radiant Black to help with the fundraiser for the teachers' medical bills. As Radiant Black's giving his speech, Shift breaks down the big plan. Black holes emit a specific ultra-low frequency that Doppler can use to locate Radiant Black's position. Even though Shift and his crew are the bad guys, I can't help but love thorough plans. One of my favorite tropes of all time is when a character monologues a plan as we see it being played out. It's so satisfying. Anyways, once they find Black's location, Shear and his drone are sent in to recon. If everything's safe, they'll start the ambush. The gym starts to rumble and an evacuation starts. Shift explains that the first leg of the plan is to keep Radiant Black occupied until Riley can teleport in their big gun. Radiant Black gets people to safety. The crowd then warns him about something going on the roof. It's Shift and company teleporting in. Radiant Black flies up to them and they start their distraction. They scatter and Shear uses his drone to update Black's location to everyone. Doppler gets the jump on Radiant Black and hits him with an amplified triangle ding. Shift explains that in the inner ear, there are biocrystals called autoconia that tells us which way gravity is. Doppler can disorientate the calcium carbonate in those crystals and cause perpetual vertigo in Radiant Black. The text turns in a fun way to convey Radiant Black is unable to tell up from down. Axel takes this moment to attack and get his attention. Radiant Black is lured towards the fifth member, Mecha. Shift elaborates that they believe the Mecha suit was specifically used to transport radiance and are immune to the effects. Radiant Black flies at him, but Mecha smashes him into the ground. He then grabs his leg and Broly smashes him into the ground, which is enough to keep Radiant Black down. So you have Shift, Shear, and Axel on DPS, Doppler on support, and Mecha on tank. Nice. Radiant Black is on the floor, bleeding. Shift says that the final part is to use Mecha to kill Radiant Black and take the black hole for themselves. In the flashback, Doppler objects to them resorting to killing. Axel retells that Radiant Black said that was the only way to get the Radiant. Doppler intervenes again by saying that, morality aside, what if killing him also kills the Radiant? Shift doesn't reply. We cut to the five convening on Radiant Black, who's coughing up blood. Shift de-helmets and real talks with Marshall. He loves with him and says that he can tell he's had it rough. Guy offers Marshall a chance to take some control of his life. The deal is, Marshall looks the other way of Shift's operations and recharges them once a month, and in return, Marshall gets 10% of what they make. Guy says that every now and then they can even put on a show for the public and boost Radiant Black's publicity. Guy then drops some insight on today's media landscape. Everything's a sellout. News stories, sports games, superhero movies. It's all just people who own everything capitalizing on that fact, and that Marshall can be one of those people. Marshall's reply is basically, you and your Fab Five can go f*** yourselves. With that, Shift laments the decision and has Mecha finish off Radiant Black. Marshall appears in existence when the robot speaks to him.
Marshall, do not despair.
You are dying.
Marshall replies he kinda is. Marshall is pulled out of the water, still clinging to life. Mecha winds up the final blow, and due to YouTube guidelines, I can't show this next part. The Radiant Black hole leaves Marshall's body, and we end issue 17, losing another Radiant Black. Except just kidding, loser. Marshall tells the robot he's afraid.
Understandable.
But illogical. You are part of existence.
But not alone.
The Fab Five are suddenly in a stasis hold, and someone off-screen says that they're impressed with the coordination this must have taken. Mecha breaks free of the hold and falls into the water. The off-screen savior says he's got bad news for them, however, that there's been a change of plans. and we see it's another Radiant Black that's going to save Marshall's life. I don't really know what to say, so I'm just going to link off to issue 17.